Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about taking your kids hunting. There's three important factors I think you need to consider when you're taking your kids hunting with you. The first thing is giving them some type of space where they can move and make extra noise. That's why I think either ground blinds or a piece of burlap, a wood blind, whatever can hide them. I think that is the way to go when you're hunting with your kids. That will help them when they're talking with their hands and things like that, or if they open a snack, that helps dampen that sound so the deer don't hear it. Secondly, I think warmth is very important. It's hard for the kids to sit a long time, especially when they're young, if they're cold. And secondly, keeping them out of the rain. All of us like to be warm and dry when we hunt, although it's not always an option. Most importantly, some type of stable rest needs to be used when you're hunting with kids. And I should add, every adult should try to use a rest as well. It just makes sense. So there's various ways you could do that. You can use tripods, bipods, shooting sticks, all kinds of ways. But those are the three things you want to consider when you're hunting with your kids. Today I'm going to show you a couple of the blinds I have on my property and how I incorporate those three things into our hunt. First, this is our wood blind, and that overlooks the clover plot. If you've seen that video, clover's doing really well. That overlooks this plot, but that's not really the main target area in rifle season. It's actually out in front of this blind leading out to the field. So one thing I modified this year is, if you look at the windows, I just used some windows that someone was throwing away, but if you use a large window, it just gives the deer a better opportunity to see in. So you can actually spray paint your windows and just keep a patch for you to look out. So I just narrowed the portion down that I want to see out of clearly, and I put some paint on the rest. But this has a metal roof. It's wood. It's probably about 3 feet off the ground. Coming inside, I have some office chairs in here, 2 office chairs, and those are great. If you can find those from someone that's maybe replacing their furniture business or something, grab those. I also have the buddy heater in here that helps keep the kids warm. And then I have a couple different ways to rest. One thing I did is I built a shelf down there. That's a little bit too low though. Secondly, on this window, I just went and attached some thin stock across the window. It's camouflage on the outside, so they can rest the forearm or their rifle here and shoot out that way. And there's one on that window here as well, just lower. And these seats adjust up and down. That's very important if you have a small child, because they're going to need to have a different seat height than you are. I'll step out here. I'll go around the blind and show you the whole thing. But one thing I should mention, that buddy heater, that's plenty for that blind. It's not insulated or anything. You don't really need them insulated. You can keep the windows shut some of the time, or not open all of the windows, and it'll roast you out of there. So there's the front of it where most of the shots are taken. Now I have some green shade cloth also hanging down, just for some extra protection, so the deer can't see in as well. Before I had that painted on there, that covered part of the window, but that works really well for that, and I'm hoping the camo works well. And then here's the other side. So it's a nice blind. I used some diesel and oil for the exterior. That's how those turn out, and I'll show you my next one. But if you can build something like this, it'll last a long time and help keep your kids comfortable. They can do all kinds of things in there. I don't like my kids on the phone or video games. I want them out there enjoying nature, but they can just relax in there. They could take a nap if they want to, or they can, talk to you, whisper, eat a sandwich, things like that, cough. It's a lot less stressful before the deer come when you're in something like that. Once the deer come, though, it's like teaching your son or daughter to drive. It's stressful. Let's take a look at the other one. This is my second blind, and if you've been watching the channel, you've seen me build it. I love this one. We're out here cleaning it. We got the shot vac, the generator, broom. Boy, it was a mess. There's a few modifications I'm going to do to this one, knowing what I know now, but I love this blind. So inside here, there's enough seating for 3 people if you want. It's pretty big. And I made windows of all different heights depending on what you're shooting, and the orientation of the window, whether it be rifle, bow, crossbow, things like that. And this has a ton of space. They can move as much as they want, talk, you can't really hear it. Keeps you warm. You put a buddy heater in here and it warms it up to nearly room temperature. Let me show you a couple of ways that I've used to make sure they have a stable shot. So the first way to provide a stable shot is I built this right hand shooting rest, and what I do is I take a shooting stick, I put it under there, and then this window slides open and it provides a stable shot like you would get from a bench. So that's one way. The other way, I have these shooting ports in here, and they're just real tiny. And I designed them so when you put your forearm of the rifle here, you can still see your scope. So you could actually shoot standing up, and the deer aren't going to see you. They're just a little hole, and it's real stable. It's like a turret almost. And another way, these windows, this part is the plastic from the blind. I have little wood pieces to keep them closed during the off season. When you're hunting, pop that out, and the window would be up, and you just slide the window down, and then I have a little screw that it sets on. But I built this thing just out of some scrap wood. It has a little spacer here. Can leave the window on or take it off, doesn't matter. But it fits there, slides down, and then you have a perfect rest. You could design this on other blinds as well, but you just want the spacer about equal to your material on the outside of the blind. This works really good. This was a good idea. So those are the 3 ways that I have found to help improve the stability of the shot for not only my kids, but my wife and I too. So try to incorporate one of those, or shooting sticks, some other method, but it's very, very critical that you get a stable shot.